Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Pundit highlights alleged partnership between Ripple and CitiBank. Okay, let's get into this one. Okay guys, so we all know the deal with Ripple and XRP. Obviously XRP is amazing for cross-border payments. So does this really surprise me if it is true? No, not really. We already know what XRP is about, and this is just part of its use case, right? This is its main real utility. So, although this isn't 100% confirmed, because I did just check this just to make sure, it's not 100% confirmed, but if it is true, then, is this really surprising? No. I'll be honest with you. I know that David Schwartz did a Twitter Spaces not so long ago. And he was saying that, cross-border payments just really hasn't taken off as much as they would hope. And I was quite surprised by that, to be honest with you, because we just know what XRP can do. I think the lawsuits has probably had a huge impact on that. I think that's fair and safe to say. But, yeah, I just thought that they would have had a bigger impact too. Now, that doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. I think just maybe it will take a bit more time, because the one thing I will say about this is what you have got to understand is when you've got something that really disrupts the status quo, you've got to understand that the gatekeepers of old, that they don't want the change, right? Because for some banks, they're actually benefiting from the old system, right? It's actually helping them make money because big banks charge smaller banks to do cross-border payments because they have big nostro-vostro accounts with huge amounts of value in which smaller banks don't really have the funding to do. So they pay a fee to the bigger banks to be able to do cross-border payments. And so they might be looking at it as, look, this is a nice little hustle for us. Like, we get some good money out of this. We don't really want to go over to this new cross-border payment thing that you guys are doing because, we actually make quite a bit of money doing this. So, there's things like that you've got to take into consideration, and also just fearing change, right? Like, you got to understand when it comes to something that can really change the whole industry, like revolutionize the whole banking industry. Yes, that's not something that's just going to happen overnight. There is going to be a lot of people who are skeptical. Let's just look at cryptocurrency right now. We all know what cryptocurrency can do, right? We're all very aware of how great cryptocurrency is and what some of these cryptocurrencies can do utility-wise. But are all cryptocurrencies being adopted right now? Well, let's talk about not all cryptocurrencies, but the cryptocurrencies that actually have a purpose and have utility. Are they all being adopted right now? No. Do we even have regulations right now? No. And so a lot of people still say, oh, cryptocurrencies are no good. They're not going to be here in another 5-10 years, that kind of thing. Bitcoin's the only legitimate cryptocurrency. So you have got these people who still don't understand what cryptocurrency is and what it's going to do long term. So that's what you've got to understand with this kind of stuff. But this is great to see. We'll get into it because, as I say, there's nothing that's actually confirmed, but I will go through this with you and then we can decipher it and see what we think as to whether we believe it to be true or not. So let's get into the article and then we could discuss this a little bit further. Prominent XRP community figure Raff Kahneman, WOK, recently unearthed a document suggesting Ripple worked alongside CitiBank to develop a private solution for cross-border transactions. The paper was written by Bhima Shankar Nagapal of the Department of IT at Jawaharlal Nehru Technology University, Hyderabad, India. It was titled, quote, "Reshaping Banking Through Blockchain, Exploring the Future of Financial Transactions," unquote. Claim of Ripple and CitiBank partnership. The paper explored the revolutionary role of blockchain technology in addressing the challenges in the traditional banking sector. A cited case study of blockchain adoption in the banking sector involved a supposed partnership between Ripple and CitiBank. The university scholar highlighted CitiBank's implementation of blockchain solutions to enhance its cross-border payment services. The key aim was to minimize settlement times and expenses linked to international remittances. Meanwhile, the research paper highlighted that CitiBank initiated the blockchain project in collaboration with Ripple. The purported relationship aims to develop a private blockchain network specifically for cross-border payments. Allegedly, this platform facilitated immediate transfers between participating institutions, removing intermediaries and boosting real-time settlement. Furthermore, the paper suggested that among the outcomes of the Ripple CitiBank implementation was a notable improvement in transaction speed. It claimed that CitiBank's cross-border payment system reduced processing times from days to seconds. Additionally, it cited that CitiBank achieved significant cost savings, resulting in reduced fees. The firm supposedly enhanced transparency by giving customers real-time visibility into their transaction status. Opposing realities. While these claims are valid for Ripple's cross-border payment solution to banks, there are significant grounds for suspicion regarding where such implementation ever occurred with CitiBank. For instance, the paper authored by the university researcher was published on August 4, 2023. Interestingly, this predates the official unveiling of CitiBank's move to adopt blockchain solutions to improve settlement transactions. Specifically, CitiBank announced a blockchain-based service that enables instant transfers by tokenizing customer deposits on September 18, 2023. Moreover, there is no known partnership between Ripple and CitiBank at press time. Also, the research paper, aside from failing to cite any source, did not mention whether it was a pilot implementation or production. These inconsistencies have raised significant questions from XRP community members regarding the genuineness of the report. Ripple CEO's remark on Citi partnership. Moreover, during an interview in 2019, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse stated that CitiBank would likely be the last customer Ripple ever signs up. He attributed the perception to CitiBank's significant vested interest in maintaining the status quo and not embracing change. This essentially negates the view that Ripple and CitiBank might have been working underground to address cross-border payment solutions. However, a lot has changed in the last 5 years. CitiBank has adopted blockchain solutions. Similar steps are observable with financial behemoths like JP Morgan. It is worth mentioning that the academic report was tagged, quote, preprint, unquote. A preprint is a version of the article that the author made available before its formal publication in a peer-reviewed journal. Nonetheless, 9 months after the report, recent realities have failed to confirm that Ripple is indeed working with CitiBank. Okay guys, let's get into it then. So, what do I think about this? Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. Like, I always am skeptical when I see these kind of things because I've seen so much misinformation during my time being an XRP holder that I do question a lot of things, and maybe sometimes it is to a point where I'm just jaded. I can be honest and say that because I've just seen so much misinformation that I am very skeptical when I see stuff like this. And the reason is just because I want to stay grounded. I don't want to just have my head in the clouds and just hear like, oh, CitiBank partnership, and then just think it's true and it might not be. Like, I always want to do my due diligence to make sure that I'm being realistic about my investment because I don't want to mess this up. Like, I want to be very grounded and know what's true and what's not true. I'll say this, Wrath of Khanman, he's someone who I've seen on Twitter for a long time. I don't follow him, but I definitely keep tabs on things that he does and says. He's very credible in my eyes. I can't obviously prove that, but he's not someone who does hype. He is someone who is very grounded as well. So I'm not saying that I just 100% believe him because he's even said himself he's not sure if it's true, but I do give him credibility, I'll be honest with you. He's not confirmed this to be true, so again, that's why I say he's being genuine. He's not just saying, "Oh, it's a partnership and it is happening." He's being very open and honest and saying, "Is this the case?" He doesn't know for sure, so fair enough to that. But would I be surprised if this was true? Well, no, not really, because, this is what it's all about, right? This is what XRP does. So this was all part of Ripple's plan, is to get banks on board to use XRP for cross-border payments. So it wouldn't surprise me. Now, one of the things I did see right there is them saying that it was done on a private basis, which means to me, I'm assuming a private ledger. This is something that's been talked about a lot. Because they do say, like, is it going to be a separate ledger, like basically like a copy of the XRP ledger, but a private one, so they don't have to share all their information out to the public. My only thing about that is, and this has been a question that a lot of us do ask, like, would that impact the XRP ledger then if it's just a duplicate copy? Because XRP is still going to have to be utilized, so it still would be getting used. But as it's a private ledger, will it help overall? I honestly don't know the answer to that. I'm not really sure. But yeah, if that's the case, I have to question if that's really going to be a huge benefit to us, if that is the case. But I don't know the answer to that one way or the other. And also, we don't know if this really was done on a private ledger, etc. So there's a lot of things to this that we'd have to obviously understand if that was the case. But overall, to me, it's good to see, just knowing that things like this are being discussed, because it does leave us open to the opportunities of what could be, right? Like, for me, I'd like to hear this stuff, because at the end of the day, I'd rather know the potential stuff than not know anything. So even if I am skeptical, I would rather hear this stuff so I can then do my own research to see if it is true. So in terms of them saying, well, like, this was announced before they said that they was going to blockchain solutions, I mean, to be honest with you, that doesn't really mean anything in my opinion, because, I've heard this before. A lot of people say stuff like this, like, when things get announced and they say, like, we're going to start working on this kind of stuff, usually it's already been going on behind the scenes for a long time anyway. So it's kind of like they tell you that they're starting to look at this stuff, but really the truth is they've already been using it for like months, you know what I mean? So that to me doesn't really equate to it not really being true. So I don't think that really gives it any less credibility that it could be real. And yeah, in regards to Brad Garlinghouse saying that he thinks that CitiBank is the last bank that they would sign up due to them not wanting to embrace change, that doesn't surprise me at all, to be honest with you. Like, as I said earlier, people do fear change, companies do fear change. They don't really like to just jump over to something straight away. I think they like it to be tried and tested first. Obviously, XRP has obviously been under some legal scrutiny as well due to the lawsuit with Ripple via the SEC. So there's been a lot of things here that could obviously, make them a bit more concerned and make them a bit more reserved. So I can understand that, to be honest with you. But if that was in 2019, as they say, like, crypto's come a long way since then. So is it possible that they could have had a change of heart by now? I think that's possible. There's a long time really, especially in crypto, because crypto is moving very fast. And as you learn more about this crypto technology and see the things that you can do, I think it's understandable if they could start to say, actually, we really need to get our head into this, because this is something that's going to be big in the future, and we need to kind of get ourselves into it as soon as we can so we're not left behind. So I think that's possible. So yeah, in regards to all this, I mean, the fact is we haven't got nothing set in stone as proof of this, and there's nothing to confirm it. So that's where I'll say, look, I'm not going to say 100% that I think this is true. I'm not certain. Maybe I'll do a bit more digging into this to see if I can find it and see if I can review it myself and maybe find a source or anything like that. But nothing's been confirmed. Again, they could be under an NDA. That's a possibility. So that's also something that you have to bear in mind. So there's a lot of reasons as to why this could be legitimate, but I'm just saying that I'm not going to just run and say that right now, because I really don't feel like I have enough research or evidence to back that up. But if it did turn out that this was true, I really wouldn't be surprised. I mean, don't get me wrong, this would be huge for Ripple and XRP if it was the case. I'd be excited, but I wouldn't be that surprised just because we know what XRP can do. So, I'd really kind of expect this anyway. So, we'll see how things go. And if I do find anything that confirms this one way or the other, then I'll be sure to give you guys an update. But we'll see. This is something that could possibly be in the works, something that could be coming in the future. And if it is, it could be absolutely amazing for XRP overall. But what do you guys think? Ripple's partnership with CitiBank. Do you like the sound of this? Do you think it's true that Ripple have a partnership with CitiBank? Do you think that this would be good for XRP's price? Or do you not like the sound of this? Do you not think that Ripple have a partnership with CitiBank? Or do you just think that this wouldn't be good for XRP's price overall, even if it was true? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'd be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.